The very first verse of the Bible, Genesis 1, verse 1, reads as follows: In beginning God created the heavens and the earth. Bereshit bara Elohim et hashemim ve'et haaretz. In ancient times, the Hebrew language did not use separate symbols for numbers as we do today. Instead, letters served dual purposes, also functioning as numerals. This divine integration is clearly demonstrated in Genesis 1 verse 1. Here, the numerical values assigned to Hebrew letters reveal a pattern that goes beyond mere coincidence. In Genesis 1 verse 1, we will examine the value of each letter and then sum up the total for each word. As we do this, a pattern will begin to emerge, one that transcends mere coincidence and clearly indicates an underlying intelligent design. Let's begin by adding the numerical values of each letter, and then we'll sum up these values for the total. Bereshit, Bet 2 Resh 200, Aleph 1 Shin 300, Yod 10 Tav 400, total 913. Bara, Bet 2 Resh 200, Aleph 1, total 203. Elohim, Aleph 1 Lamed 30, Hey 5 Yod 10 Mem 40, total 86. Et, Aleph 1 Tav 400, total 401. Hashemim, Hey 5 Shin 300 Mem 40, Yod 10 Mem 40, total 395. Be'eft, Vav 6 Aleph 1 Tav 400, total 407. Haaretz, Hey 5 Aleph 1 Resh 200 Sade 90, total 296. The sum of all of the words together totals 2,701. 2,701 is the product of 37 times 73. The numbers 37 and 73 are prime numbers. A prime number is a natural number greater than 1 that is only divisible by 1 in itself. This means it cannot be formed by multiplying two smaller natural numbers. The sequence of prime numbers starts with 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, 13, and continues infinitely. 2 is the smallest and the only even prime number, as all other even numbers can be divided by 2 and are thus not prime. Prime numbers are central to the study of mathematics due to their role as the basic building blocks of the integers. Notice how these two numbers, 37 and 73, are a mirror reflection of each other. 37 is the 12th prime number, and 73 is the 21st prime number. These two numbers also reflect each other. As previously mentioned, the product of 37 and 73 is 2,701. When 2,701 is added to its mirrored counterpart, 1,072, the result is 3,773. Amazingly, 3,773 is the concatenation of the original numbers, 37 and 73. This numerical phenomenon showcases an elegant relationship between these numbers, all embedded in the first verse of the Bible. Now let's look at triangular numbers for a moment. A triangular number is the total count of objects that can form an equilateral triangle. The most straightforward way to demonstrate this is by using balls arranged in such a way as to form an equilateral triangle, much like how pool balls are arranged in a rack at the beginning of a game. In a standard setup, these 15 balls form an equilateral triangle, representing the fifth triangular number. To understand the concept with numbers, start with the smallest equilateral triangle you can make, which is just a single ball. This represents the first triangular number, 1. Now, add another row below it with one more ball than the row above. You'll have 2 balls in the second row and 1 in the first, for a total of 3 balls. This is the second triangular number. Keep adding rows, each time increasing the number of balls by 1. The total number of balls in these increasingly larger triangles represents the sequence of triangular numbers. The number 1 is the first triangular number, followed by 3, then 6, then 10, 15, and so on. If we continue this sequence of triangular numbers out, we will eventually come to the number 2,701, our total for Genesis 1 verse 1. Again, amazingly, 2,701 is the 73rd triangular number, which also means if you add up all of the numbers from 1 to 73, the sum total is 2,701. Who other than the Creator himself could have integrated all of this within the very first verse of the Bible? But this is not even the tip of the iceberg, as we will see. Recognizing that the gematria of the very first verse reveals such a profound numerical structure and symmetry, we will continue to explore verse 1 to uncover other remarkable discoveries. Let's now look at the total number of unique combinations of words in Genesis 1 verse 1. There are 7 distinct words. To determine all the possible combinations of these words, where at least one word is included, we use the formula 2 to the power of n-1, where n is the total number of words. For the 7 words, n would equal 7. First, calculate 2 raised to the power of 7, which is 128. This total includes every possible combination of the 7 words from none to all 7. However, since we are only interested in combinations that include at least one word, non-empty combinations, we subtract 1. This subtraction removes the one scenario where none of the words are chosen, known as the empty set. Thus, 2 raised to the power of 7 minus 1 equals 127. This means there are 127 unique, non-empty combinations of the 7 words in Genesis 1 verse 1. For this lesson, we only want to focus on the unique combinations of words that are divisible by 37. Let us begin. There are 2 single words that are divisible by 37, the 7th or last word with a numerical value of 296, and the 6th word with a numerical value of 407. To save time, we will only look at the numbers and show their divisibility. 296 is divisible by 37 exactly 8 times. 407 is divisible by 37 exactly 11 times, speeding the process up so we can get through these numbers. The total unique combinations of words that are divisible by 37 are 23. 23 unique combinations of words. Within these combinations of words, fascinating patterns emerge. The numbers 777, 888, and notably the number 999 appears twice. As we conclude this lesson, let us pay special attention to the number 888. In the New Testament, the name Jesus in Greek, in the nominative case, meaning he is the subject of the sentence, has a numerical value of 888. Jesus, the Alpha and the Omega, the first and the last, beginning and the end, the one who created all things, 888, which is 37 times 24. The most quoted verse in the Bible is John 3:16. It reads, "For God so loved the world, so that he gave the only begotten Son, in order that everyone believing into him might not perish, but might have everlasting life." In the Greek, it would look like this. This verse has a total numerical value of 13,690. 13,690 is the product of 37 times 370. What mastermind, what grand architect, other than the Almighty God, the creator of all things, could have orchestrated such a thing? Colossians 1 verse 16 reads, "Because in him were created the all things in the heavens and upon the earth, the visible and the invisible, whether thrones or dominions or rulers or authorities, the all things have been created through him and into him."